Hi, welcome back to the Roundtable. I'm your host, Steven, and today in music, I will be reviewing the latest CD from Boston's very own Extreme. This is their latest release. It is called Six. It is their sixth studio album. The band is made up of Nuno Betancourt, guitarist, lead singer Gary Sharon. There is Pat Badger as the bass guitar, excuse me. And then there's Kevin Figueredo, if I'm pronouncing his name wrong, right? If I'm not, please excuse me, on drums. Anybody who doesn't know them, they were quite big in the 80s and 90s. They got into international stardom with the hit ballad More Than Words, which has surpassed 1 billion streams up to this point, or half a billion streams to this point. But anybody who was a fan of these guys realized that they were much more than your generic rock band. They could play funk, soul, ballads, mid tempos, rockers. They even had a concept album, which I loved, called Three Sides to Every Story. They were very versatile. I thought they were kind of like a modern day at that time, like a modern day take on Queen. They were very versatile in their playing. Nuno Betancourt at the time was hailed as the next Eddie Van Halen at the time. But unfortunately, with the times, they just didn't keep going. At one point, they broke up when the grunge came out. They released an album called "Waiting for the Punchline," and it didn't live up to expectations. Although I quite enjoyed it, I think the band took a break. Nuno had a band called Morning Windows. He also was part of Rihanna's touring band. Gary Sharon went on to do Tribe of Judah, and he was the singer for Van Halen for one album. Unfortunately, he didn't last long in the band. A lot of people didn't like that album or him as a singer on it. I disagree. I think he's a great singer, and he deserved a second chance with that band. I just think they needed a different album, but that's a whole other story. Back to Six. The album started out, we've been hearing rumblings since 2015 from the band that they're working on an album. They may have 2 to 3 albums worth of material, and then nothing, and then all of a sudden, bam, Rise comes out, and Nuno's solo on here just struck a chord with the internet. It went on fire. People were like talking about this and didn't know who they were, and phenomenal, great idea, great song to release first. Gary's vocals are phenomenal. Nuno's playing is phenomenal. That solo is mind blowing. It's incredible. Then they decided to release Rebel and Banshee, two more rockers at the same time. Great songs, love them. And then right before the album came out, they released Other Side of the Rainbow, which is kind of a mid-tempo acoustic, kind of like Wholehearted from the band from the 90s, I believe, early 90s. They had an acoustic song called Wholehearted. If you go back and listen to it, you'll see the similarities. And so at the beginning, I thought this is going to be a very rock album from these guys, old school rock album. After hearing the singles, I'm thinking like, wow, they're going to deliver this hard rockin' album. And this is where it's going to divide the fan base, I think, or listeners in general. Once we get past this beautiful ballad, Small Town Beautiful, which is the fifth song. So you got the first four songs, which are the first four singles. So Rise, #Rebel, Banshee, Other Side of the Rainbow. Then you got Small Town Beautiful, which is a nice little ballad. The Mask, Thicker Than Blood, X Out are kind of electric rock. Kind of imagine a touch of Evanescence, a little bit of Rammstein, like not as heavy, but that electronic rock in those songs. So it does take a left turn at that point. So if you thought you're going to get your generic rock album, here's where Extreme kicks in and shows their versatility. The Mask is a great electric rock kind of song where Nuno and Gary trading vocals. Love this one. It grew on me. The first time I just went, huh? And then I went, oh yeah, love this song. Thicker Than Blood is okay. Not amazing. It's good. It's good. It takes a few listens as well. Save Me is a mid-tempo rocker, old school in the lines of Rise and Rebel, but a little slower. But old school rock. Hurricane is More Than Words 2023, a beautiful ballad with Nuno and Gary exchanging vocals. X Out is an electric rock song. Beautiful Girls is that other left turn that you after you hear the electric rock, suddenly go calypso. and that you kind of do a double take. I did a double take on that. I like, what am I listening to? Like, am I still listening to the CD? And I was. Here's to the Losers is that it sounds like a song making fun of people, but it's an uplifting song, very Queen-esque. Listen to Queen 2. It's an inspiration for them. You hear it on this track. Listen to that album and listen to this, and you'll get what I mean. Here's to Lose, a great way to close the album. Loved it. So I can see some fans, whether you're an extreme fan or a rock fan, it may disappoint you at the halfway mark. If you're thinking this is going to be your generic rock album, it, like I said, it takes a left turn at the midway point. So side A, you got your classic rock. Side B is a mix. You got that. Save Me is the closest thing you're going to get to classic rock again. And maybe Here's to the Losers, this classic old school Queen. But like I said, you got Thicker Than Blood, X Out, The Mask are modern rockers. So, and then of course, like I said, Beautiful Girls is a calypso song. So the second side was they bring in the versatility, and I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a head scratcher the first time, but once you get used to it, it's a good album. And I think that they didn't play it that safe. After 15 years, I think most people, including myself, thought they were going to go for that song like Rise and Banshee and just generic rockers and just try to really appease the general fan base. And they really didn't. And they're going all out and they're hitting every genre like they used to do with their older albums. You never knew with Extreme what you were going to get, and this is another case of that. So if you're an old school Extreme fan and you like that versatility in the band, or if you're a Queen fan and like how Queen can jump from Bohemian Rhapsody to I Want It All to Another One Bites the Dust to Save Me, if you like that those jumping of genres, then this is an album that you should consider listening to. I enjoyed it. I think it's well worth. Is it worth 15 years? That's up to you. I think it's a great album. I hope we don't wait another 15 years for another one. I think it'd be too late. Um, but all in all, entertaining, versatile album. Don't judge the album by the first four singles because, like I said, at the halfway mark, it takes that left turn. So if you really want to take a gamble and listen to a versatile album from a talented bunch of guys, this is it. So this is Steven from the Roundtable, highly recommending Extreme's sixth studio album. 6. If you like what you see here, please hit the like button, subscribe. We definitely like to hear from you, and it does do us some good if we do get some more likes. So please do that. We would appreciate the support. This is Steven from the Roundtable, wishing you the very best.